Hello everybody, my name is Elenator and welcome back to Ultimate Minecraft Polyworld episode 396. We're walking around, I made sure to write in my journal that's not in my inventory. Where's my stuff? I'm missing several items. Oh, here it is. I'm pretty sure this happened because I was moving around things. There we go. I was moving things around and so I wanted more inventory space to move more, faster. That's why Union Pacific 9000 came out. Yeah. So we are looking probably at the bounty board because there's already another iron golem stuck in there. We're looking for all the stuff rendering. It looks like something done goof with lighting over there. I'm gonna optimize the world when we get to 1.15. Okay, that's half true. 1.15 pre-release 1. So we're gonna look at the bounty board and see what else there is to do. I feel like there was something I wanted to work on. I can't remember though. Yeah, some of the lighting mostly works when looking at the edge. I don't know what happened. Excuse me, y'all. Some of the lighting kind of caused problems at chunk borders and whatnot, and I don't know when that went wrong. Howdy, howdy, welcome back. So yeah, I'll just fix up the world again and do that later. So I want to say this one's just about done other than plopping out torches and flowers and stuff. Don't even know how. It's April. Snow in April. You're in the northern hemisphere. Makes sense to me. All of this is completed. The supermarket. I feel like I wanted to work on that supermarket for so long. I don't know what I'll call it, but I was planning on doing something like a Walmart or Target, but I feel like maybe I'll go for a Costco. The only problem is that's going to be a very, very big brown, not brown, gray, very big gray box. And I think I have the cobblestone by now. So I should be fine. But we'll see. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't finish digging that hole. I had that pit I need to keep working on. Maybe today. I don't know, maybe not. It may not be normal, but it's not impossible. I've come to accept whatever weather patterns may occur. I'm not getting back to the brick pyramid, especially if I'm going to finish digging the hole. Nerve HQ is going to be that project where I hope I get more of it done by the time part 4 is over, and then I don't have anything there. Excuse me, y'all. One thing I also realized, apparently my torches disappeared. That makes me kind of sad, but I think that's right at the chunk border. I don't know if I was looking at this yesterday, or looking at this on camera, but you can see the torches disappeared right at the chunk borders, and that's a big bowl of sadness because I can't put those torches back. Chests are not full blocks anymore. Nom, 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 nom. The ability to show and hide chunk borders is such a fun feature. +1 for Java. All the little debug hotkeys. The entire F3 debug menu. Oh yeah, I also spent the time updating the map. Void no longer renders as empty maps, it now renders as gray. But you could see the back of the map is still visible because the block museum has glass there, and so the glass hides the void underneath. Yeah, now it just looks like I filled the entire floor with stone when that didn't happen. For some reason, the lava also filled in. I didn't know that was possible. There was a bunch of lava missing, and I want to say 1.13 changed fluid dynamics. So now what happened is all that lava filled in completely and made it smooth and look better because Indev ruined the lava over there. But oh well, that's okay. So I think I said I was gonna keep working on digging that hole. Oh, sleeping bag should be all set. Sun's going down, that's alright. Let's take the minecart. Nope, this is not the correct path. It's this one. You know, hold on here. Let's be smart about this. Let me grab shulker boxes. I don't know how many stone shulker boxes I have, but I'll need to check how many cobblestone. So it looks like I have multiple light gray for stone. Cobblestone is also full. Interesting. So what I might do instead... let me do some math here. Because, so let's see. Each shulker box, 27 slots times 64,088 cobblestone per shulker box. And so I have my pickaxe, my regular fortune pickaxe. Let's say it has 1,500 uses. But we'll multiply that by perhaps 2, because I have Unbreaking 3, so it should last me long enough to get 3,000 uses at least out of it. In fact, I'll probably even say 3,500 perhaps. You know, here, hold on, what's 2.5? 1,500 times 2.5. 3,750. Divide that by 1,088. About 3.5 shulker boxes. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 4 shulker boxes. We're going to empty all these out. And then we're going to take the cobblestone and start putting them back into the chests. The reason being, I want to use these shulker boxes, fill them up with cobblestone. I don't know if they will be completely full, but we're going to try anyway. Probably shouldn't have filled that one up completely because I'll need plus 4 slots free. Alright, so we start here. And I'm pretty sure by the time this is empty, it'll be time to catch some Z's. I don't even know if there's this much cobblestone left, but we're gonna try it anyway. We shall see. This way I don't have to worry about the ender chest, I can just utilize shulker boxes. This is the most, on any of my survival worlds, this is the most I've ever used shulker boxes. Because before I would barely use them. But now I'm working on such large scale projects where I need a massive amount of them to be stored. So therefore, since they're here, I might as well take advantage. Boop. And away we go as I check out this real fast. This one is for sure not... Buddy, you're in the way. Doo-doo-ba-doop. Sorry. Not my fault you're sitting on the track. Can you, like, move? Does he even know how to pathfind off of this? I don't know. Mobs generally like to avoid the stepping over rails, but I don't know if that applies to iron golems or not. I guess iron golems you make do not get mad at you for attacking them. Unless that's a sweeping edge thing and it wasn't a direct attack, but it should still count. There we go. As much as I want this lamp pulse, I don't want to restart the minecart again. Oop. Doo-doo-ba-doo-ba-doop. Yeah, this feels so much slower compared to the ice highway. One day, I might figure out an optimal transit system, terrestrial transit system on here, but we'll see. The TTS. No, not text-to-speech. Terrestrial transit system. Chances are I'm not even going to remember that name after today. Whatever happens, happens. Yeah, it's nice to see the maps updated in their entirety, because I think the chorus on here also turned purple. Of course they're green for me, but the game doesn't know that, and it still assigns the colors anyway. Oh, what happened? That was a 1.7 second spike on the internal server. Wonder what went wrong. Don't tell me it regenerated a chunk somewhere. Because I've had one regenerate over here in the very first world. And then add another one over there. The big problem about the one chunk over here comes down to I may or may not have copied the biome. And so I have this one chunk of grass that's a different color than everything else in the surrounding area. And the thing is, we don't see that on here because of the bright green. But if you were to play without the resource pack, and if you see proper color tints again, you would see that I have one chunk of an incorrect color compared to everything else around it. And I think I totally overestimated the amount of cobblestone I'm going to get. I'm looking down there, and this pit's already almost complete. I didn't think I made that much progress. Big oops. That's alright, so we're gonna sleep as the Zella moon rises, which means this way. Alright, well, back to digging. Good thing I have plenty of stone, which means I don't have to worry about that for now, because I had the 3 or 4 shulker boxes of stone on top of another, I think I was in the 3rd double chest. I don't think I reached the 4th one, but I had 3 double chests almost, plus at least 3 shulker boxes. That's a lot of stone. Good job, me of the past, making sure to acquire all of that. But yeah, I think I've decided I'm just gonna let this pit sit here. I originally was considering filling in the edges with stone, but if I'm about to work on a massive project, oh my gosh, a Zelconator, Zelanaco. Maybe that's what I'll call it. I'll call it Zelanaco instead of Costco. And so that's going to be the giant store. I'll need freezer sections, a lot of different checkout areas, aisles of stuff. Howdy, Ian, welcome back. I'm unable to provide any JavaFX assistance on all that. Oh yeah, I can't remember because I'll be honest, I've been busy with other stuff and haven't tried again. Did you ever figure out if the package build for the editor worked? Because I feel like you realized, oh, I did this wrong a day or two after. Alright, time to finish this level. Huzzah! Oops. How many more are left? 1, 2. Basically 11, since by the time we reach this point, it's already been mostly carved out. I didn't realize you modified your JDK. Howdy, y'all. Alright, back to work now that the slime has been thoroughly taken care of. What's that cobblestone? I'll leave the ores, and I'll leave the empty holes, but I do not want to leave cobblestone. It stands out too much. Of course, I know at another point that means once this is completed, I'll have to update the map again. But thankfully, now that I took the time to update the entire map, I feel I can rest easy for a while. I even updated the small one for the most part, because I have that tiny map that doesn't look nearly as cool, but hey, the entire bowl fits on the singular map, and so that's alright, I suppose. Yeah, I updated the tiny map for the most part, and I saw a few changes on there. Not a lot, but there were several pixels on there, just because the scale is, I think, 1 to 8. And so, I don't know if Minecraft just takes the average color of a or I should say an 8x8 grid, or if it takes the block at the farthest top left corner. I feel like it would take the average though. Whatever color pops up most. That's one of the reasons why I don't like zooming out the maps, and it's because you lose the detail, whereas level 1, you get a 1-to-1 scale. Oh well, that's just me and the preference of lossless quality. What would be nice though, is if we had higher resolution maps. I wonder if by now there's a mod for that. Because then we could have larger maps. I should say maps that would cover more area, but we could still see all the details on there. Because the map texture itself, I think, is 128 by 128. When you consider that, that's only a 2x2 chunk grid. Of course, it's offset, so it's not exactly. Well, I guess it's offset relative to 0, 0. Because the topmost corner of the map is not at 0, 0. I should say world origin is not at the top left of the map, it's in the center of it. I don't know if it, in fact I'm certain it was not always this way. 1.4. Maybe it wasn't 1.4, it might have been 1.7. 1.7 added maps that align to a chunk grid. Is there a particular reason you were making a MIDI editor? Is this another school project? Alright, so another thing you want to do. I lack surprise. Oh, sun's going down. I see the shadows. Do you already have the back-end sound banks required for all that? Or do you only have the MIDI sequences themselves that you are working with? See you later, sun. I would say ice turn red, you can go to bed. But there's kind of a mountain in the way. That's not true, it's not a mountain, it's a hill. It's the city on the hill. One of these days, I should add more to that city. It's kind of empty right now. You just do the functions, but how do you test it? Do you just look at the math for it, and there's no audio experience for you? Okay, using Windows default. That makes sense. That was my question, where's the audio coming from? But it has now been answered. There's a slime. I'm hoping he doesn't bounce down here. I would appreciate him if he remained up there. Don't worry, Mr. Slime, just keep bouncing out of here. See you later. Looks like I was far enough away that he didn't spot me. I still don't know how much height differences are calculated when mobs can see you or not. I feel like they should be, but equally so, I wouldn't be surprised if Minecraft simplified its math by only doing an XZ plane, and height is not important. Fake leak for an update and YouTubers started covering it. That's funny. That's funny to me. But It's not funny for the people who are about to find out. Oh, there's another slime. Unless it's the same one and he bounced back down here. Gravity's not on my side. Because I want him out of the pit, but he keeps jumping into the pit. Speaking of into the pit, I still haven't played it yet. I own it. I've owned it for a while now. I still haven't played it. 2,000 views is a moderate amount. Method would probably be... I could see him thinking to himself, I remember when I was there. Howdy, howdy, welcome back. We are indeed kind of talking about music stuff. Gold. Not very useful since I have a bunch of it and don't know what to do with it. You could say I could turn it into beacons, but I already have so many platforms for beacons, I need the beacon blocks themselves. MIDI sequences work towards music. Are they ever used in stances just to play audio? I only ever hear them utilized for music. MIDI output from physical hardware you're referring to? It's gonna be time to start tossing all this into a shulker box. Sounds like you only confirmed what I was thinking with it only being used for music. Okay, let's see how long. Once this stack is full, I'll be tossing it away. Into the box you go. I just don't know which side to plop out of. I think it's that one. Yeah, that's my exit. Maybe I should just replace all of these with stairs. We have stone stairs now, right? I've never heard of Black MIDI in terms of band in the online community. Sounds like a challenge. Can your computer handle this? Rather interesting, I say. I wonder what the MIDI file for Rush E looks like. That is a rather intense musical piece there. All three parts of it, I should say. Alright, let me bring all that in. Back to work. That's rather interesting. Makes sense, though. I can understand the effect. It's kind of like if you use Windows and you have pop-up windows all stacked on top of each other. The more you have, the little shadow behind it becomes darker and darker until you hit the point where it's black as well. If the USB you found has any old Minecraft versions, that'd be cool. You should totally submit it. What are the chances though? Old Minecraft would not be found on a flash drive. They'd be found on old hard drives. Well, it feels like we're almost there about the same time. I'm pretty sure I can at least finish this today. But yeah, I'd like to gather as much cobblestone as possible before I start working on the Zelenico. Man, what a store name. I don't even know where I'm gonna put it, but I'm gonna figure that out when I get there. Chances are I'm probably gonna have it in one of these older classic worlds, if I could just find a big flat area. It would be me dropping frames this time. We're at 1%, 967. That's some gold. That's gonna steal an inventory slot. It'd be rather nice if I get lucky and find some diamonds here. We are in the positive quadrant, but I feel like I'm still gonna be rather unlucky. The farther down I go, the less volume there is that I dig up. The less surface area that gets exposed from said volume being removed. Keep looking down there as if something's gonna pop out. It's unlikely to happen though. Kinda like when I was working on the dirtfish last week. We've kinda hit the point where the space is so small, I should say the distance is so small that I am unlikely, or that anything is unlikely to be able to spawn because it's too close. There's not enough distance for it to spawn in. One thing I'll need to do when this next night arrives, which why do I feel like might be soon? I was right. When this next night arrives, we're going to be putting down a few more torches around here, because I need to make sure that this area is nice and bright. Howdy, howdy. You say plans for all this cobblestone. Truth be told, it doesn't feel like a lot of cobblestone. But I did start working on this pit because I needed cobblestone. And then ended up acquiring a lot more than I thought I would need. Same thing with the warehouse. The fourth warehouse I started digging out. That was definitely a lot of cobblestone. And obsidian, which was not fun. Anyways, I plan on building a Zelenico. And so when I think of Costco, I think giant gray box. So that's exactly what we're doing. I'll still have different areas, but we'll see. I am really gonna build that. I don't know where, but I've got the cobblestone. I've got the stone and the cobblestone to do so. And it's on the bounty board. Was it grocery store? Supermarket. I think I said supermarket. This isn't exactly the same as a supermarket, but I'm gonna cross it off anyway. It's close enough to a supermarket that I'll just say fulfills the purpose. I might have redstone sliding doors. They'll have to be glass. Big glass doors. The only thing is, the Costco doesn't really have standard sliding doors. They have giant shutters. And part of that is they need to be large for not only the product to move in or out, but also for the large quantity of people entering and exiting at one time. I don't know what a Costco guys or who Costco guys are. Oh, I went out on the wrong side. I think I'm doing better on lighting, though. I should put one over there where the coal is, but I'm already close enough to here. I haven't used any command blocks on here because I don't have any legitimate way to acquire them. Awakeness, Kurt J. Mack used to say. I need to hop onto his Flobathon streams. I don't know if... I'm pretty sure he started by now, but I don't know where he's currently at. Was it there? Maybe it was there. I don't know. Either way, it's brighter. That's the important part. That would have been a good opportunity to clean out my inventory for the shulker box, but I'd rather just keep going. Is that slime coming in here? I don't see him. You never know, he may consider it. I thought I was in the clear for the slime earlier, and then he bounced back in. One thing that's nicer though, I definitely feel like these layers are going much faster. Because I remember the last time I spent a lot of time digging this out, and each layer definitely felt quite a bit longer. But hey, power of geometry is on my side. Each time I go around, there's 4 less blocks of the perimeter. Of course, I am digging out the entire layer, so calculate that into the amount of volume. I guess more so surface area, since layer by layer I'm working it out on a 2D plane, essentially. Once I go down a few more layers, it's going to get really fast though because of the amount of space I carved out in the middle. So once we hit about 3 more layers completed, it's going to go by Zoom. Looking forward to that because it's already been half an hour of the day. And the only thing I've done so far is talk about, hey, I updated the map. And work on carving this out. It'll be nice once this is done though. It means I'll get to use it in the future for something. Don't know what, but at least it'll be around. Excuse me, Batman. Way back when resource packs were new. You know, way back 2013 when they were being worked on in the snapshots for 1.6. Back in that day, I used to watch Swimming Bird 941 quite a bit. And so he was doing his regular snapshot showcases, and he was talking about resource packs, how they supported the ability to change sounds. And so I remember his demonstration of changing the bat sound from the regular default stuff to a recording of him saying, "I'm Batman." And it ended up kind of funny because of Minecraft's standard pitch shifts. I've considered going back through his snapshot series, but they're not in order. Some of them are in order, but then there are others in reverse order. And so that bothers me. YouTube playlists being reverse chronological order, bothers me so much because I don't want to know the new stuff. I want to know the in order stuff. But oh well. YouTube's big on promoting the new, even though I prefer the chronological. Oops, this is the wrong side. Maybe I should just build a bridge. I think I've considered having a giant plus sign going from one end to the other. That way, if I pop out on one side, I don't have to go around. I could just go straight across. Maybe later, but chances are, once I'm done digging this out, there might not need to be a later. Oh, there's one shulker box full. Time for 2. So I guess it is still good that I brought 4 boxes with me, because I might end up using them all after all. I don't remember YouTube having a way to sort playlists you're watching. I'm pretty sure you have to use the order by the uploader, and whatever order the uploader has it set to. I want to say I used to use an extension or something that allowed me to do chronological order, forced chronological order, but I don't remember having that for a long while. I also still haven't found an extension yet that brings back a playlist, I should say publicly displays on the standard playlist page when it was last modified. You can sort your own channels. Every uploader has the ability to do so. Or not channels, sorry. You can sort your own playlists. A few different options, or custom and all that. But when watching someone else's playlist, not a way to do so. Which is why an extension is probably the way I would need to go. That way, I could stop leaving comments on videos saying, hey, can you please fix the playlist order? Because I've done that once recently, and I might have done it another 1 or 2 times before that I'm not remembering. So thankfully, they were small fry YouTubers, so it was easy to leave the comment, and then within however many hours they got back and said, alright, all fixed. Yeah, such is how it goes. I remember when the change was occurred because there's a lot of older playlists that are still sorted chronologically because that was the default order. And then at some point YouTube made the switch within the past few years or so to have newest first by default. Howdy Koski, welcome back. Is your refrigerator still running? Alright, we're getting there. You know what that means, right? You better go catch it. But oops. I had to make the joke. At this point, it's kind of an anti-joke because it's not funny. But it's funny enough to me. I saw my opportunity. I know the joke is bad, but I'm not gonna feel bad because I laughed in my head. That's the important part. Alright, I think we're good. I think we're all set. I know the joke is old. One might even say ancient in terms of whatever sort of jokes we have these days. But I don't feel old. You'll feel old in a little bit now. What are we coming on? A few days, I think. You'll feel old then. An hour of Alpha 1.1 with Windows 95 retro ambience. Sounds interesting. Gonna go to bed? Alright, thanks for dropping on by. Have fun catching your Z's. I'm thinking about doing one corner at a time because I keep jumping over here. And this big hole in the middle, it's gonna be a little This whole hole in the middle is going to be a little challenging to keep tackling. Oh, it's turning nighttime. Time to plop down more torches. You know what? Maybe not. Maybe I don't need to put more torches yet. It might still be bright enough. I'm not at all familiar with that name, even though I feel like I've talked about him before. And now that nighttime is here, it all starts again. Oh, you know what? If I could see that tower, if I could see the tower from any point while I'm down here, I just know, go into the opposite direction. There we are, time to catch some Z's. Monster's second account. Oh, I see. Do I want to eat? The urge to eat, but equally so. I don't need to because I'm not going to be running anywhere. Not like your fridge. Is that lava? Lava where? Where'd the lava be? Was it someplace I saw up top? Because it very well could have been. There's lava out in the distance for my in-dev world. I think that's over there. Yeah, over there, you can see all that lava. That's just another one of my in-dev worlds. A Hell Island preset. Alright, I will wait another half armor bar, and then I'll eat again. Replenish my armor. I am not in an in-dev or early inf-dev area. This is 0.11. Well, the launcher's 0.11, I should say. That's why there's no liquid over here. The next world off in that direction is my 12A world, and you can find water and lava there. The reason why there are ores here is because this was all generated. That's not true. It was all populated in InfDev 327. Or I should say because of InfDev 327. So all these chunks were populated between 327 and 415 or so. They were all loaded and marked as ready to be repopulated in 327. But what happened is, not all of them were loaded in 330, which solidified the trees, which means I ended up with a lot of poofy trees, because some of the areas weren't reloaded until 413. So yeah, that's where all these ores come from. There used to be trees. There used to be trees all over the place because of 327. That's all gone now. If you ever look at the world archive for 415 on here, should be rather small. But yeah, if you were to look at the world backup for InfDev 415, you will find so many trees. So many trees in my pre-classic and classic chunks. And InDev. There's a lot of ores in classic and InDev, but these ores were not existing yet. There we go. I did it! It's all been taken care of, and I can't dig this block because that would lead me to a void. To the void. As if there's more than one. There we are. Giant inverted pyramid hole. So it looks like I only needed 3 shulker boxes. There's not the possibility that 327 added the ores. It is absolute possibility that because of 327 we have ores in this specific area. other areas, other parts of the world, like over there, then yeah. Oh, look, there's another one. Hey, buddy. I'm gonna do a thing. You ready for this? You said yes. You gonna shoot? Oh, now he is. Hold on, I kind of want to steal your stuff, though. I'll take that banner, please. There we go, voluntary exile. So what I need to do now, we're gonna drink a milk bucket. Here's the thing, I just have to stay away from the village. Toss all that. I guess I did only need 2 shulker boxes instead of 4. That's okay. I feel satisfied now with all this taken care of. What do you mean don't go to the warehouse? I don't have any villagers at the warehouse. That's exactly where I'm gonna go. My village is off in that area. I should be fine. I'm pretty sure it's gonna register as a proper village. I have villagers, and I have enough doors and whatnot. But that is far enough away that being at the warehouse will be fine. And I feel like I have the urge to do a thing. I could smooth this out more, but maybe that'll be later. No, that's not true. Hold on. If I'm not coming back to this area, I'll just do it now. Plus, this will also give me a little bit more stone. Because all this is going to be carved up and replaced with dirt. Does anyone know how long the effect lasts overall? This is before they increased the display timer. Sometime later, maybe 1.16 or 1.18, the timer will display higher than, I think it's 99 minutes and 99 seconds. I wonder why it took him so long, though. I feel like when the effect was added here in 1.14, this would have been a good time to increase the timer, but oh well. The game itself still keeps track of the correct time, it's just the display. I guess they didn't figure out how to scale with additional digits yet. Longer than, or I should say higher than 2 digits for the minutes. Not important. Me and math. I do know, though, being a game developer myself, text scaling can be a pain sometimes. Alright, now away we go. I feel better, because that means I could use that whenever I feel like again. And let me, oops, that's not the complete one. There we go. Yeah, anyways, as a game developer, I know it can be difficult doing proper text scaling and getting numbers to fit within areas. I wonder how many villagers are required. I should say, I wonder how many villagers and doors are required to be considered a village. I should say as of 1.14, because I want to say the old way of doing it in 1.13 and earlier is no longer the same. That also looks like a corner that should be smoothed out. Do I want to do it now, though? There will be a time that many chunk borders between the worlds are going to be smoothed out. I just don't know if I want to do that now or later. I got all this cobblestone, I might as well utilize it on the same thing I said I would. And since the whole map has been updated, I can go out and search, see what sort of flat areas there are as of now. What tree? The one I planted? It's not a tree, it's still just a sapling because the chunks haven't been loaded nearly long enough. I'm way over here at home. We'll see how long that gets to stick around for. But if all goes well... I'll take this. I have a lot of milk. Good job, me of the past. Alright, well, problem solved. 10, 5, 4. Interesting. Alright, toss that cobblestone. Toss that gold. Grab more cobblestone as I start filling up the boxes again. Okay, now both of those two are now full. That one's completed. We're gonna be getting it rather close. Oh no, maybe not. I was gonna say we're gonna get it rather close with the amount of cobblestone we're putting in here. But I think that is not a true statement. Yeah, there we go. We still got plenty. And I don't... Alright, with that all taken care of, where do I want to start putting my banners? Howdy, howdy, howdy. Thanks for dropping on by. Appreciate the comment. Falling asleep while using my phone. In what scenario? Like, I'm laying in bed on my phone. I'm on a call with someone, and I fall asleep because they're that boring or something. Maybe I don't use my phone nearly as much as you do, which is still a true statement. I don't think I have. I've fallen asleep at the computer one time. It was New Year's Day, I believe. There we go. The chances of me getting enough banners to go all the way around the warehouse is rather small. But if by some chance I have enough banners to fill all the way across here, not the doors and the glass, but all the way across the cobblestone, then all the way over to there, and then back on the other side, and then meet all the way around the front, that's going to be a massive amount of pillager scouts I'm defeating. That's a lot. I feel like if you fall asleep on the phone, you should be, or fall asleep while using the phone. That means you should get more sleep and use your phone less. Do you know the definition of addiction? Let me grab more bacon. 46 will be fine, but I'd rather acquire more. So before we start building, it would be wise to fix up the pickaxe. Thankfully, this isn't going to take all too long. 3rd week of May. Okay, so another month. Are you that impatient? Do I have everything? Pickaxe, boat. Okay, yeah, I'm all set. I was making sure that I had everything on me. What happened to you? Why are you out of your pen? Oh wait, is that the one from last time? Yeah, that's the sheep I haven't brought back. Okay, buddy, enjoy your freedom for now. You're gonna be going with your siblings? I don't remember how many sheep I started out with, but I gotta say, most of the sheep came from other sheep within that area. Oop. Feast! Enjoy the speed! There we go. Ah, I almost made it. That's kind of how it is for Minecraft farms, because it's more optimal to just bring a few of each type of animal and then just expand from there. 1.18 broke all your farms. What type of farms? Is it because of the light level changes in mob spawning? I need to fix this. I need to come back with stone brick. You know what I could do? I'm very tempted to replace this silverfish spawner with another type of spawner, but I don't know what I would put here. Something friendly. I don't know what I would want living around. I could just have a default pig, but... In fact, I very much could replace it with a pig spawner because I don't really need the big spawn eggs that much, since every spawner I place is a pig spawner by default. That's how it is for real life farms. Yes, that's true as well. But yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll replace it with a pig spawner because I can't see myself using those pig spawn eggs for any reason since there's no need. The amount of free bacon I get from the giant archway area where I placed down all this stuff. Yeah, I kept the 000 tree, except the 000 log is gone. The Ender Dragon destroyed it at one point when I spawned her at some point. I said some point twice. Make it 3 times, but beyond the scope of what I was referring to. Anyways, the log itself is gone, and so were several of my torches, which means at some point the Ender Dragon flew down there and got rid of it. And I don't know if I put the log back or not. But yeah, I'm keeping that tree. I'm keeping that tree for as long as the Ender Dragon doesn't defeat it. Dragon versus tree, who would win? I'll give you a hint. It's not the tree. And I don't have a thingy. There we go. Howdy, Griffin. Welcome back. I think going with dragon is a wise decision. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I brought the Enderman Master down here. Your ice farm, mushroom farm, passive mob, witch farm. You can have those? I guess that makes sense. Blaze spawner, slime farm, and a couple others. Changes due to caves and Y level changes. That's unfortunate. 150 to 200 hours to fix. How much time did it take to make the spawners in the first place? Because I think to myself, 150 to 200 hours. That's, I'll just say 200 hours. That's 100 UMP episodes. I remember 100 UMP episodes ago. I just started part 4. That was months. That was months for real life time for me. Tell me you're unemployed without telling me you're unemployed. Well, it depends, because 1.18 came out a long time ago. Yeah, you know, here, that is a question. How long ago did you work on this? Because, wow, working 9 to 5. Okay, so yeah, I was right. 200 hours over an extended period of time. And I'm gonna turn these Endermen down real fast. Probably should have done them previous times, but oh well. $200 hours over 4 years. Yeah, that's reasonable. Well, 200 hours is a lot, but over the span of 4 years makes it not as bad. 30 minutes in a week. Yeah, 30 minutes in a week. You could find time for that. Yeah, UMP when 1.18 came out, 1.18 was the first major update to come out a couple of months after UMP started. It came out in December and the series started in August. Oh, November last year. Wait, hold on. Hold up. You started and put in 200 hours since November last year. November 2024? 5 months ago? Well, I guess 6 months ago. Hold on. "50 hours a week scrolling shorts." I don't scroll shorts. I'm not sure who you're referring to. I don't scroll videos on any social media like that. Yeah, 40 hours a month, 10 hours a week. So like an hour and something a day. I plug in the block shorts. Every once in a while, I find a short that's interesting. Most of them, I don't look at. Howdy Potato, welcome back. Around 1.1 sounds about right. I don't have a lot of farms on here. I have the brick mob farm. I'm not really concerned about that. I don't use it anymore. I have this farm. Is that it? I don't think I have any other farms that are properly made. Okay, so now let me just fix up the rest of my stuff real fast. Release 1.1. This is the only farm I think that I use, and it needs to be fixed anyway because it's rather slow. You plan on building a lot of farms? I don't know, I've never been a big farm person. I'd rather make crop farms because those are straightforward. And crops don't attack you. At least not yet. One day we might get killer plants on here. That'd be an interesting mob idea. We were supposed to get, well, I say supposed to, but if it won, we were gonna get the Great Hunger that would hide in the ground and chomp whenever you walk over, or something like that. It's not exactly a plant, but similar in nature to a Venus flytrap, based on how it sounded like they described it. Alright, let's see. So I'm looking for killer carrots. They already did potatoes. I don't think they would do another April Fool's like that. I feel like there'd be another concept they'd explore. We'll see what we get next year. Yeah, modern Minecraft, it's easy to automate a lot of stuff compared to how it was back in the day. So from 2014 to 2020, and then you started again previously, last November, then everything was broken. That's a sad tale, I say. Alright, well, my pickaxe is better since that was definitely on the low end. So now we can head home. Howdy, Minty, welcome back. Moving and stimulating the hairs around their teeth. I have not heard of that before. I guess it kind of makes sense that only if there's stimulation from movement. Yeah, I don't think bugs know. If I stand completely still, nothing will happen. I'll take the boat. I wonder if they're ever gonna fix that. The boat's moving. I don't play enough modern single player. Or modern survival, I should say. For to know how boats work currently. Killer beetroots would give them more of a use. What do you use them for? Red dye, beetroot stew, food, just to eat raw, even though it's better just turn it into a stew, I think. It takes 6, right? And each one is worth half if you eat on its own. And then eating the stew gives you 8. So yeah, it's better to turn it into a stew if I remember my food sources correctly. Anyways, not important. Yeah, I don't know what else you use beetroot for other than dye and food. Oh wait, hold on. Don't you use one for chicken stew? That's still food though. Let me just sort all my dandelions now, it'll make me feel better. Let me sort all my... I need to rename these back to rose, because this is using the old rose texture, even though whether or not it really is a rose is up to debate, but yeah, I need to mark that. After all, it gives you rose red. Oops, that document is not what I'm looking for. Let me whip out my trusty notepad. Rose name. I have bread. I never eat it, but I guess I do have some. I wonder if that 27, hold on. No, 47, never mind. I was gonna say, if I had 27, I wonder if that used to be a double chest. Or, no, a single chest. And it was filled with bread before bread stacked. Alrighty, so the most logical place to put down a giant building would not be down here because of the amount of work I'd have to do landscaping. I don't want to take over the survival test area. Maybe I'll do it up there. There's a lot of flat ground up there because I carved that out a while ago. It gives you 10 hunger. I see. I thought it was reduced. For some reason, I thought it used to be 10 and went down to 5. And I think part of that is it used to heal 5 hearts. I can't remember. I feel like beetroot stew is easier to get if you have a big beetroot farm, which, as mentioned earlier, is easier to automate in modern versions. It gives more hunger. Interesting. Yeah, we are looking for dirt, which I'm pretty sure I just cleared out, because I want to fill in the area. I'm gonna grab all of that, and then I'll take all of this, because there's an area that either had a bunch of sand or a bunch of gravel, but I think it was sand, and I dug up all the sand. Because it was classic, it left one layer behind. Golden carrots and suspicious stew. Interesting. I've thought about working on a gold farm on here, but I don't know if I will. I don't think I'll be doing much piglin trading. Nor do I need it nor do I need the item to turn into blocks or anything. With the amount of bacon I have, I feel like I would continue to eat bacon on here. Yeah, see, this is a mostly flat area. So over here, no. Well, yes, but I was thinking of somewhere else. Maybe it's on that side. But you can see this all used to be sand, and I carved it up because I needed sand, but I left the line of sand behind because I didn't want the empty space. I feel like some people might eat beetroot as an item early on in the game. Well, after you've been playing for a bit, there's no need, since it'd be more effective just turning it into stew. It'd be more effective so long as you are not worried about inventory space. I don't know how much I've had. I don't know how many beetroots I've had in the real world. Beetroot-based anything. I do not eat mushrooms, though. I will not eat mushrooms in the real world. They're not for me. Swim! Except I can't because there's only one block water. Mushrooms are disgusting. That's another way to put it. I don't know in what scenario I would willingly eat mushrooms. I will say though, I'll say the same thing about seafood. Mostly. No, not seafood, shellfish particularly. Crab, lobster, shrimp. I like fish and whatnot. However, I make an exception for shellfish because I like sushi, and so I will eat sushi with that. I'm definitely team no mushrooms. Oh, you won't eat any kind of seafood? No fish? Sad times. Well, here's one thing to note. Today we're talking about food. Usually it's philosophy. Someone gonna bring some food philosophy into this? Woo shroom and new shroom. That's an interesting way to put it. You don't like anything that comes from the ocean. Interesting. So many food preferences. Well, seeing as we eat food every single day, it would make sense that we would have preferences and anti-preferences. Non-preferences, perhaps. We'll stick to chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets are always safe. I've never had dried seaweed. I'm pretty sure I've only ever had seaweed when associated with sushi. I'm also a big sushi fan, but for me it's one of those where I like it so much, I only eat it 1 or 2 times a year. Dried kelp is a source of iodine. I did not know that. I have now learned, if I commit to memory. You were forced to eat sushi? Okay, it kind of depends. Well, okay, that's not entirely true. I will say the little slabs, the proper sushi strips and whatnot, I can understand that. I'm a big fan of the rolls, various roll types, and I think that's it. Maybe I'm thinking sashimi. I'm trying to remember what the definition for sashimi was, though. Dried seaweed and awful aftertaste. Oi. Okay, so sashimi was the slabs of fish on rice. Okay, maybe that's what I was thinking for then. The reason why I prefer the rolls more is because there's more flavor and there's more differentiation. It's not just raw fish on some rice. I will eat it though. I do like sashimi, but not as much. Alright, I feel like I should flatten this as well. I wonder if I should just get rid of all this water, just fill it in with dirt. Do I need it here? Part of me kind of likes it. But we're gonna see, because I'm looking at the area. You see all of that? I have to fill all that in. But then that's one block above what I'm gonna be filling in. So we'll see. And I picked up the shulker box, right? Oh, I think bedtime approaches. Good time to catch some Z's here rather soon. And I think none of those random holes were proper terrain generation or me accidentally digging a block I wasn't supposed to. Another thing is, once this is all filled in, I'm gonna have to either lay down torches or build fast enough that nothing spawns over here. The rolls made you sick? That's unfortunate. Could have just been the nature of it, how they're prepared. Since they're usually, I should say they might also include raw ingredients as well. Raw fish and whatnot. That's part of why I don't have it all too often. Alright, I think maybe I should pick these up. Oh wait, hold on, what if I started on this side? Started on the back end where it's smaller, then work my way to this massive open plains over here. I can't remember if I had plans to fill this in before, but now's a great time to do so. With all the sand gone, I could just plop the dirt. Maybe I should have done this before building the dirt fish, but too late. I feel like I like tomato-based stuff, but I don't know how much I'll eat tomatoes on their own. I will eat tomatoes on cheeseburgers. It was a serious sand mining operation. This entire area used to be sand. You could tell because I left the water line, because I didn't want to deal with the flowing water and stuff. But yeah, I used to have like baby mushrooms and whatnot, but I'd rather have them on sandwiches or burgers. I do like ketchup though, but ketchup, it's not the same because there's a lot of salt, a lot of sodium involved in ketchup generally. And tomato paste or tomato sauce, the red sauce usually used on pasta, I prefer less, but I will have that. I'll try them one day, because I feel like trying to get them to me, they will not last. Not good seafood near you. Are you far away from the shoreline? I'm within reasonable distance where, I should say, I'm reasonable distance between lakes and oceans and whatnot. Well, the ocean, where seafood is accessible. Seafood is plenty accessible over here. Very far. Oh, so you're way inland. Sad times. I feel like having vegetables on their own versus when they're cooked are two different experiences. So I can understand preferences to having vegetables as is versus ways they are prepared, cooked, fried, sauteed, stuff like that. I'm not a big onion person, but I will have like fried onions if they're on something. Carl's Jr., the Western bacon, and double Western bacon. I will eat the fried onions on there, but that's because it's all part of a burger. But I will not find myself eating a raw onion. You'd rather raw over cooked? I have not heard of that before. Nope. Time to grab more dirt. This is the one that's not yet full. Should say no longer full. It used to be. You hate onions? Oi. Such as how it goes. Onion rings. If you like onion rings, do you ever have Funyuns? Back when I was a wee lad in school, Funyuns were a popular snack. I never liked them, though. I know that's not the same, but I don't know. They weren't for me. Uncooked radishes and salt. I feel like I've had radish one time, and it was a very not fun experience, and I did not want to have radishes again. Pasta with tomato sauce. Yeah, sorry for anyone who's becoming hungry. Thankfully, I get to eat in about half an hour. I would start eating in maybe 10 minutes, except I gotta finish my stream. I got 40 minutes to go. You like onion rings, but you don't like onions. I guess that is a preparation difference then. My gosh, all this dirt. Thankfully, all this dirt is ever so slowly going to turn to grass because some of the grass spread to the top before I kept going. You haven't eaten lunch yet today. I feel like if it was already that time for me, I would have had lunch by now, unless for some reason I had a large breakfast, and therefore which pushed back lunch. You're eating while watching. Yeah, you're all set. Alright, well, I got the easy part done, and now I have the not easy part. Some people eat breakfast regularly, other people don't. I'm one of those small breakfast kinds of people at some point after I wake up. I can't say I've ever had lentils. You eat dinner between 2 and 5. 2 p.m. sounds like late lunch to me. "5 p.m. is moderate for dinner. I tend to eat maybe 5:30 to 6:30 for dinner. Part of that is because of my stream ended up pushing back my dinner time a little bit. Because I usually eat earlier. You know, I don't know if I've ever had horseradish. 6 p.m. is too late to eat dinner there. I guess that depends on what time you eat lunch and how much breakfast, if any breakfast you have. 5 p.m. sounds early to you. People have such wide times for when they eat dinner, I've learned. Dinner TV program plays? I don't even know what sort of stuff we have on broadcast television these days over here because I don't watch any of it. "9 to 10 p.m. I feel like you generally eat food late though. 7 and 8 for dinner. 7 and 8 is more reasonable than 9 and 10. 9 and 10 is my bedtime. My brain needs good sleep to function properly. 8 p.m. is supper already? So you have a dinner then a supper. Do you have a lunch? There's a video. In fact, I almost think it was like a food theory video talking about what is breakfast, what is lunch, what is dinner, what is supper. And like all this stuff. And it got complicated. That's what I learned. That's what I learned from that video. Can't tell you any of the history it talked about, but I learned it got complicated. Yeah, to me, supper is always dinner. Because I've always learned, well, it's late enough that it's the same thing. Lunch is dinner and supper is dinner. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, me, the American over here, has always heard dinner and supper for the same thing. Breakfast, dinner, supper? It's breakfast, lunch, dinner for me. There is no lunch, it goes to dinner already. See, different cultural differences. And I saw that lag spike. What were we looking at? 630 or 623 milliseconds, 0.6 seconds there, long enough for me to notice it. I have not heard of brupper before. Doesn't even sound like dinner, or sorry, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It just sounds like breakfast and supper. The only time I've heard of dinner replacing lunch was that one video I was talking about, where it went over the history of what we call different meal times. Horseradishes are a must. I cannot guarantee. I cannot guarantee whenever I'll get them. I just don't think about them. The Brits and Americans have dinner at 8 p.m. It's rather late. At least late for me, I should say. Not substantially late. If I have dinner at 8 p.m., I must have really been focused on something. Drop down more torches. Horseradish is like wasabi. I'm not a big wasabi fan. Not just the spice, but also the flavor. I have had it, but I tend to eat sushi and whatnot without it. There are monsters nearby. Where? Is there a cave? Am I on top of a cave? That could be the problem. A root paste. Huh. $1830 and 1930. Yeah, that's a little late for me, but that's not unreasonable. Alright, let me probably just pick this up for now. We're making progress on all this dirt. Big breakfast at 10, big lunch at 4, no dinner. I'm a 3-meal person. Some people skip breakfast and have lunch, and then have dinner. Not everyone eats earlier on in the morning, and so they tend to not eat until late morning or around noon. Using 24-hour time makes more sense when describing food times. I'm sure there's people who get up at 5 and don't have breakfast until 7. At that point, you could say 7 p.m. You prefer using military time? See, it's very nice once you know, I should say once you commit to memory, specific times. That way you can keep track of stuff better. I've been using 24-hour time on all my devices for a long while. Wouldn't eat in the morning because it makes you sick. Sad times. 24-hour and military aren't the same. What's the difference? I feel like, Ian, there was a long while ago, early on in the series, you were saying how you had difficulty telling the difference. Military time doesn't have the colon, which is why you use the colon in your preference. When you were talking between 8:30 and 19:30, sorry, 18:30 and 19:30, use the colon. Therefore, that is 24-hour time. Yeah, I don't know if you might be able to have a format without the colon on computers and stuff, but I'm pretty sure it's gotta be there in nearly every standard format. which makes it only 24-hour time. 0700 or 1340. Unless it's 1340. Oh, 0300. I feel like I've heard 0300 more than 0300. I don't know what the standard is. We're getting there, but yeah, we have the largest section we need to keep filling on in. Most movies get the hours things wrong. I'm not surprised. Movies tend to have a lot of things wrong in common. Jake from State Farm. I remember those commercials. I don't feel old, but I remember those commercials. I haven't seen Coneheads in years. I completely forgot about that movie until you mentioned it. What is State Farm? State Farm is a insurance company. I want to say life insurance. Watch it be car insurance. I don't think it's car insurance though, unless I'm totally getting it confuzzled. Dan Aykroyd was in it? It's been so long since I've seen it, I don't remember who stars were. I would say I feel like their older advertisements were more engaging, but I really don't know the history of State Farm advertisements. Oh, the grass is doing good. Spread my youngins. If Jake's switched ethnicities, I have not been watching for a long time. Beep beep, excuse me. The original Jake was an actual employee? I wonder, did he ever answer the phone? Like, was him sitting in the cubicle really where he was positioned? Because if so, I wonder if people ever said, hey, you're from the commercial. I almost want to look into the history of State Farm commercials, but I don't know if that's something people would do a video essay on. I would put that on and have it on in the background. Maybe not video essay, maybe analysis video would be better to describe the history of Jake from State Farm. I could totally hear that being or see that being a video title, though. I'd watch it. Progressive has always been progressive, but oops, in their advertisements. Rather odd, I say. Anyways, I have indeed heard about people throwing popcorn and soda in the theaters. I'm not surprised because Minecraft fans encompass such a large range of people. I don't know how I went from food to insurance. Ian mentioned the State Farm commercial and Coneheads. I don't remember what food was before then. Oh, we were talking about food, which led to hours, the different formats, and then everything after that. An alien pretending to be human. She's a reptilian. She's one of them. Let me grab my tinfoil hat real fast. For as much as I talk about tinfoil hats, I don't have one. I should make one. I just haven't taken the time. It won't be that bad. I just pull out a sheet and then have it curved enough. Nah, that won't hold its shape. I'd probably need something more stable to hold it together. Truth be told, I'm pretty sure it's been a while since I last talked about tinfoil hat theories. But, for as much as I have in the past, I don't actually have a tinfoil hat. Give it the point at the top? I should. That would be rather funny. We'll see. If I ever remember to make a proper tinfoil hat, I shall do so. Here's the thing though, I don't know how much tinfoil we ever get because we always get aluminum foil. I can't remember the last time buying tinfoil because I always remember having aluminum foil. It's not the same, but would people know the difference? You will remind me? I appreciate that. Oh, out of dirt. We might have enough to finish this. It'd be really cool if we did. People call tinfoil is just aluminum. You telling me that tin cannot be, or tin is not malleable enough to be made into foil? As my Minecraft Galacticraft history betrayed me. Because I'm pretty sure that mod is always used for different applications, but you use them in similar ways. I should say they are created. Tin is heavy. Oh, I see. Alright, let me catch some Z's here as the sun goes down. Eyes turn red, you can go to bed. Why do people call it tin foil then if it's usually aluminum? Is aluminum you cannot get the Americans and British to agree on? Or is it because tin is one syllable and easier to say? Whereas aluminium is not. This resource pack uses a bunch of old textures, but as time passes, I've started adding my own stuff. I have a lot of custom textures. Like, I have my own XP bar down there because the original... First, it was rather low saturation. I didn't like it. Too modern. And so, I made something brighter, which fit the theme of the rest of the resource textures. I also have Zelinator down in the hotbar, which you can't see much because I have items in there. And then various other small things all over the place. Bacon. Bacon, of course. Bacon is the most stable isotopes. Interesting. We're almost there. We definitely have enough dirt. But oh boy, we're almost there. And then I'm going to have to fill in another large area because once I get this taken care of, I'm going to flatten all of that because I want that to be one block lower. You do know where to go when you need help with chemistry. Chemistry is something that I think is fun to dive into. I just haven't dedicated time to it. I've instead dedicated time to telling stories. Tin is used in cans. I guess that makes sense. Breaking blocks. That's a good title. Wait, hold on. Never mind. Do we use bronze much these days? Tinfoil hat mentioned? Well, I already... Hello! The whole tinfoil hat was what started us on this tin versus aluminum thing. I'll take that, thank you. Let me say no to the cave. Should I put torches down? You know, maybe I will. If I keep this one open. So if I keep this open, what I'll do is... Doink. I'll use this as a staircase and then put the torches down once I cover it up. Musical instruments and bearings. I didn't know bronze was used in bearings. Cold temperatures becomes brittle. Sad times. I don't know who first started talking about tinfoil hats being used to prevent the aliens from raiding your mines. I think I heard a noise. I don't know what I heard though. That sounds rather quiet. Oop. That sounded me breaking my ankles though. Used in jewelry, electrical engineering, and food industry sounds like gold to me. Am I missing something? Am I not remembering correctly? I think circuit boards, and I thought the contact points these days were gold. Oh, that one's all empty. Very well could be both, though. There we go. Now that that's all done, let's go say hi to the spider. Hello. Peekaboo. Ow. Gotta go. Sends bronze right here on the article. Oh, I see. So that very well could be the case then. There's a lot of bad things in here. Hello. They just keep coming, and they don't stop coming. Oh, there's more! I see 3 more creepers down here. You know what I never did? I never made my record farm. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, I feel like a bronze sink. Feels like something they would have done a while ago. Like, oh, I got one. Speaking of records, one of them lost records, but oops. I don't know when I'll play that game, but I want to. At some point I will. Not as a series, just on my own. That's not 13. That's, it is 13. You're right. What? I thought this one was all white, and I can't remember which one was all white. I didn't realize it had the yellow on there, because I forgot I changed it. It's a slightly different texture because, I think it's a different texture because I changed the yellow to match the gold. All white is Strad. I wanted to say Strad, but I was not confident in that. You're right though, it was just 13. Of all the records we have, 13. I'm pretty sure I have a bunch of 13 already because it's been around the longest with Cat. It is the worst one? Oh, so you like 11, huh? Where are my torches? I guess I ran out of the stack. Okay, I think I may be safe to pick it up. 11 is unique and creepy. It has a cooler texture. I see. Alright, so I'll need to make sure... Here, I'll leave that there. And badoop. You know, I don't trust that. Here, let me toss in a few more stacks. Need to make sure I have plenty of space. What got changed many times? 11? I thought 11 only had the one texture change in 1.14. Hello. Hello, spider. Truth be told, I don't particularly know why I'm doing some cave exploration, but it comes down to I got tired of placing down the blocks. Just a bat, not important. 11 is your favorite. Interesting. The disc textures got changed recently. I was unaware of that. I thought they didn't have a change until 1.14. I have now learned. My favorite record has been, where are we now? Cat falls second with Ward in third. Oopsies. Did I pick up coal? Okay, if I picked up some of that coal, I might as well pick up the rest of this. Oh wait, is this the end? Yeah, never mind. And I know it's now known as weight, but that's just because the file name had spaces. And so instead of just taking out the spaces in the file name, it played the, it was just having the whole name change. I feel like if you had the proper method behind it, it'd be possible to shatter a vinyl record. Ward Farn blocks. Pretty good, I'd say. Feel like you can go back and forth debating and discussing the Minecraft C418 records. Isn't blocks the longest one? It's either longest or second longest. I almost want to say Ward was also up there in length. I don't have the time lengths on hand, but I feel like blocks was one that was 5 minutes. 5 something. Cat will always be a classic. Partly because it's been around for so long. But it's also up there. I'm referring to C418 records. I want to say both Other Side and Pig Step. No, Other Side is shorter than Blocks, if Blocks is 5 something. I'm not sure about Pig Step though. I don't listen to it. There's a lot of videos. 396, and yes, howdy, thanks for dropping on by. This series has been going on for a while now. And yes, I've got a lot to do, so we're about to start something brand new. Oh wait, no, maybe not, we only have 10 minutes. Yeah, we'll probably keep flattening this area then, because all of that's been filled in. And so if I want to take advantage of the space here, then let me get all this. Oh, you're right. Latency is terrible. That is true, because I was talking about tinfoil hats a long time ago. You can kind of estimate how long it takes to watch every episode if you do 2 hours times 396. No, that's not true. Get a plugin that calculates playlist duration. Because, calculate playlist duration for you for the reason being, that the walking to the Farlands, there you go, I don't know why that's so hard to say. Walking to the Nether Farlands totally throws off the time length with how absurdly long that is. The amount of hours. I want to say the playlist is about 825 hours. Makes sense, but that is rather extensive. We'll keep that there because any torches I might acquire. What songs are creative only? Are you talking about the background music that plays only when in creative mode? I want to say someone made a comment about that in a video, C418 music analysis video, talking about how some of the best music tracks are either locked to the main menu or creative mode. Part 1 is 278 hours. Alright, take 278 hours, and then add part 2. Part 2 is 816. Okay, a little less than the 825 I was thinking. I wonder how I ended up with buried sand. Did I just fill that in and cover the sand? I must have. I should have done that because I need the sand. I don't really need it, but it's more beneficial to me than dirt. I can turn it into glass. Part 3 is 111. Oh, good job, me of the past. Didn't try for that to happen, but that's a cool time. Slide that over. And then part 4. I don't know if you can estimate part 4 because I'm currently live right now, and that's gonna I don't think it'll be calculatable. 228, not including this stream. Alright, cool. So there you go. Add the 4 parts together. That'll give you an estimation for how long it'll take to get through all of this. Or you could be like one of my viewers way back when I was still on part 1, which was rather absurd to me, but think way back to part 1. Someone was trying to watch my videos at 8x speed. Can't remember who. Can't remember if we ever caught up. But I remember having discussions about that, and I thought to myself, I really can't watch stuff faster than 2x. Even 2x is fast, depending on the person. But yeah, trying to watch my streams at 8x speed. You would definitely be able to catch up rather quickly then, but trying to do that now. 1,435 hours without this, or with this stream. That's a massive amount of watch time. Someone should totally do it because, yeah, I could use that watch time. I can always use more watch time. I say that, but I'm not monetized, so it doesn't have any effect on me. But I could always use the watch time. 1,495 hours. I don't know if I'll remember that. But yeah, nearly 400 episodes spanning almost 5 years. Or almost 4 years, sorry. Watch a stream today and you'll be caught up in 3 years. But here's the thing. In 3 years, how many episodes will I be at? Oh, man. That's why you watch the new streams too. I suppose so. And oink. Let me clean all that up. Maybe I should start putting the sand. No, because if I put the sand in here, I'm gonna lose track and forget that I left some sand with all my dirt. I probably shouldn't have gone cave exploring because I picked up all this stuff. If I had a bundle, it could be solved. I know I keep talking about how much I'm looking forward to bundles. New streams leave marks on history. I wonder if this series will ever have historical significance larger than just, well, it was a big Polyworld series. Started back when Polyworlds were not as popular. Yeah, 59 days straight. To think that it would take you 2 months to marathon if you didn't sleep. I will say though, a big chunk of that, what do you say, 1435? 816 of those hours, and that's not true, around 800 of those hours or so, is just walking to the far lands. So that leaves closer to about 635 hours or so of actual stream. That's not me walking across endless bedrock. I do wonder, though, if there would ever be some person with nothing better to do to really sit down and watch all of those streams. Not even I would do that. Not even, as much as I need background noise, I would not want to hear endless stepping across bedrock for 10 hours straight. As much as I like the music, listening to that same 1 hour 80 times, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know what sort of song I would listen to 80 times. You watched more of the walking than you planned to? Was it just that relaxing? Did you enjoy the music for as much as it persisted? Okay, how far do I want to go? Because at this point, I might want to cut it off here. Enjoy check-in, I see, just to see the coordinates and whatnot. I remember that bee. I remember you telling me about the bee. The April Fool's episode, oh my gosh, I had, instead of the music, I had IA intensifies for 10 hours. I remember that. That was funny to me, but I don't know how many people appreciate it. I don't know if I'll ever get around to it, but I wanted to record myself doing the IA intensifies challenge for 10 hours. I don't know when I will, though. That's on my if I ever have the strength to try again. It's kind of funny, though, because I've sat and watched people do it, but during those times, I had other stuff going on. The arguments, that was 219, right? And then the arrival was on 222, a few days later. I remember that day. Still sitting on the iceberg. Yeah, ending off on episode 222. That was such a good number to arrive on. I don't even know when I realized that that was going to be the episode number. Good times. And to think that we're coming upon 3 years. 3 years ago to this day, I was still walking. Time has gone zoom. Okay, I should probably catch some Z's. Let me just fill all this in real fast. Walking to the Netherlands. Yeah. It probably doesn't pop up in standard searches, but someday it might. I just realized my shovel's not doing too good. You know what else I realized? OBS says we just passed the 2 hour mark. You know what that means. If y'all have any final thoughts, start saying them now. We'll be back again tomorrow. And I think I'm done digging. Famous last words. But I think I'm done clearing out this area. Because I wanted more workspace where I could work on the... What I call it? The Zelenico instead of Costco. Yeah, so this is where it's gonna be. And I now have plenty of dirt. And I don't know what I'll use that for in the future. But yep, that's all it for today. Thank you all for watching. Leave me alone, buddy. Bye.